It's 3:30 in the morning. Do you know where your sky guy is? This one's outside trying to tell time with the stars. I did just see clock time though, so welcome to Backyard Astronomy with Gemini Brett. I'm recording from my backyard in Richmond, California. It is 3:30 a.m. on, well, the clock or calendar would say Saturday, Saturn's Day, February 18th, 2023. We astrologers know days don't begin until sunrise. And that's going to be a bit. We're looking at the lion here. See, Regulus, the heart of the lion, which is right on the ecliptic plane, which then comes here to Spica, which is really close to my midheaven tree right now. How do I know that's my midheaven tree? Because it's due south. Let's look this way, and we have Polaris, pole star, sitting on the roof here. It's the tail star of Ursa Minor, the little bear, the last star of the Little Dipper. You know, I just remembered I brought a little tool out here with me today. Let's see how it plays. Polaris, okay. And we're going to come up. These are the last two stars of the Little Dipper. The Big Dipper here has these two last cup stars that point to Polaris. We call them the pointer stars. You can also drill a hole in the bottom of the Dipper's cup, and it always drips onto the celestial lion here. Let's go lions and bears. Follow the arc to Arcturus, very bright star here, and speed on to Spica, or spike to Spica, they say. So that spiking sometimes looks a lot more vertical depending on where the two are in space, like currently, because this tree, oops, let's get that laser turned off. And you know, I think I'll put this thing on a tripod so I can use that, so please bear with me as we're shaking here a little bit. I want to help you see the astrological angles in this moment. No idea what you're looking at right now, but I'm sure it's not a pleasant experience. I guess I could edit this later, but that sounds like a lot of stuff to do. Alright, let's look up. Unfortunately, this tripod's also shorter than me, but that will be good enough for now. I want to show you first this. Okay, so great. Let's see a bit of ecliptic here. And you know what? Let me go find a key tool. Just tune into the stars, right? Hula hoops. The ecliptic is not a line, it's a curve. So it can be super helpful to put something curving on it like this. Now I know the ecliptic's running right through the heart of the lion, Regulus. Okay, and it runs just north of Spica over here, and pretty dang close to Porrima here. So look what happens when I put the hula hoop up. Now I'm catching the ecliptic. Okay, let's laser it. You want to learn your ecliptic stars so you can start seeing the zodiac band in space with your face. So here is Regulus. These are Alciba, and then, what is it, Zosma and Chirtan, Deneb Ola, which means tail of the lion. These stars are all well north of the ecliptic, which comes here. She's very close to a couple of stars we just passed over. So here's Spica, 24 degrees tropical Libra in our day. Porrima, 10 degrees tropical Libra. This is Zanaya, it's about 5 degrees tropical Libra. And Zavijava, about 27.5 tropical Virgo. Very close to the equinox point, which is about here. Okay, so first let me turn the camera south. from this place on the deck, this tree is due south. And I know that because if I go this way, I'm in front of the camera, I can see that it's between me and Polaris. Actually wants to be right there from what I can tell. That was a little too far. Something like, oh, and definitely wants to be safe like that. Yeah, somewhere like right here. I'm moving it like 1 degree. It's tricky. Okay. So the first angle we're going to catch is the MC. And we are blessed in this moment. What time is it? It's now 3:36 a.m. Calendar says Saturn's Day, February 18th, 2023, Richmond, California. So you can cast a chart and see like 23 degrees Libra at the midheaven. And how do I know? Because Spica is 24, okay? This is my midheaven tree. So if I cast a chart right now, I'm going to find 23 Libra at the midheaven. We can say 24, and even by the time I cast the chart, it's probably going to be 25 because every degree culminates at the meridian midheaven in about 4 minutes time. Now, importantly, the meridian midheaven is due south in California always. It's on the meridian, which is a north-south great circle, which divides the eastern sky, which goes up, from the western sky, which goes down. So the crow here is on its way down. Many stars of the priestess that we were just looking at are on their way down. Let me get the camera looking up a little more. Okay. So Spica is just currently culminating here, but Porrima is on the way down. Now that might sound weird to you because Porrima is higher in the sky. Well, let's look all the way up. There's stars that get a lot higher, okay? In fact, here's an interesting truth. Arcturus, the very bright star at the top of your screen, here, and Spica live at the same longitude of the ecliptic, which is 24 degrees tropical Libra. How is that possible? Well, the spin axis, which is the equator, and the orbital axis, which is the ecliptic, are not the same thing. The equator is aligned to our cardinal directions. The ecliptic goes north and south of the cardinal directions. Arcturus is 30 degrees north of the ecliptic plane. So, you know, when Arcturus culminates, which will happen when Arcturus continues to climb and gets due south, or on the meridian line, the north-south line, which separates east from going up and west going down. Arcturus will culminate later, but that doesn't mean 24 Libra is culminating. It's really why you want to learn your ecliptic stars. So let's look a little bit this way, and we'll find some more. Okay, so now we have Spica at the treetop. Oops, sorry. Here, this is Zubin el-Janubi, the fulcrum of the scales, 15 degrees tropical Scorpio in our day and age. Zubin el-Shamali, these are the scales constellation, but these names mean southern and northern claw. They used to be seen as the claws of the scorpion, who has some stars rising here. You're just starting to see, well, soon we'll see Antares here behind that tree. I think I'm starting to see the very bright Antares, but it's actually not. It's one of, Antares is the heart, and that's one of the arteries. But these three stars are typically shown as the front of the scorpion. They are Deshuba and Fang and Graphius. Actually, one's A crab, the one at the top. I think is A crab, and then this is Graphius, which is also called the Shuba, and then down here is Fang, and I always forget who's who. But I will say that it's about 5 degrees or 3 degrees tropical Sagittarius. Okay, so if I want to find the ascendant right now, good luck, right? What's the problem? Trees. Okay, what about the descendant? So let's go this way. So we have Scorpion, Scales, Priestess, continuing towards the west, Lion. Okay, let's go further west. I'll keep Regulus, the heart of the Lion, which in 2022, this is Regulus here at the top left of your screen. 2022, it processed into tropical Virgo, and now it's in the very first degree of tropical Virgo. You can see these twin stars here. Who do you think they are? That's right, the twins. So Castor is to the west, or the right, and this is Pollux, okay? So the twins, you can't see much more of that constellation just because it's super kind of hazy out right now. And I can even with my naked eye barely see some stars in between. Okay, so the ecliptic actually runs well south of Castor and Pollux through Mevsuta and Wasat, and then up to Regulus here. Okay. And in between is the Crab, who is super dim. But this star right there is Ocellus Australis. It's one of the asses or donkey stars. Maybe this is Australis Borealis. Yeah. So these are the stars of the Crab, the donkeys, and then the manger, Praesepe, the honeybee cluster is here. Australis is like 10 degrees tropical Leo. Somewhere in that zone, 9 to 11, I can't quite remember. Okay, so I have an issue here if I want to tell you the descendant simply by looking, right? Got this fence. And also, as stars get down to the horizon, not only because the light pollution, like the stuff you see on the left, but also because haze, as Galileo described it, the vapors of the horizon, the dull vapors, you know, water, whatnot, it's much trickier to see stars down there than it is to see stars up here. So let's go up. Twins, Crab, the very dim Crab, it's hard to see through the water. The Lion, and then the Priestess. Currently culminating, Spica, or Spica, or Chitra is now right on my midheaven tree. Oh, I need a taller tripod. Right, midheaven, Spica. So Spica 24 Libra right here. Now the midheaven's 25 Libra. But we're gonna want to find, let's continue down towards the east. Priestess, Scales, Scorpion. I want to leave Spike on the tree. What is the ascendant? I have no idea. I never will. I'm not going to see it here. Now, I can learn the shapes, like how the Scorpion rises, and I can kind of, I don't know, in my mind's eye see the tail stars rising right now. It's tricky. I can work with the stars of Ophiuchus, some of them being up here, like on the tree. And then, you know, I can see the star through the trees. Maybe that will help me. It's just not going to happen. And this is, by the way, Antares, that's just starting to shine through the trees there. Antares, in our day and age, 10 degrees tropical Sagittarius. All right, so, that helps. one thing I really want you to note is this is not east, right? This is south right here. East, I just need to stand to the tree and see where my shoulders point. I'm not going to point the laser because it's through that window where Scorpiona is currently sleeping. Okay, but I mean east, let's see if I can get just a little bit of laser. It's like this way, all right? Importantly, the ascendant rudders south and north of due east every day. Scorpio, currently aligned to the scales. Sagittarius, currently aligned to the Scorpion. Capricorn, especially, well, the 0 degrees Capricorn is the point that rises furthest south of east. Consider what's happening in California when the sun visits 0 Capricorn. It's literally furthest from us. It's most south. That's why it's the longest night here, right? And the south of east rise culminates, everything does south, and then we'll set south of west. The Scorpion sets over here. 0 Capricorn sets on this tree here on Solstice Hill, as I call it, okay? So it's the short trip. Anyway, one thing I can say for sure is that this quadrant, the 4th quadrant, okay, which are the houses 12, 11, and 10, the eastern rising sky above the ground, it's currently a much smaller geometry or much less ecliptic arc than the 3rd quadrant. I'm not even going to be able to get all of that on the frame. The 3rd quadrant, here you see Spica and Regulus. So the 3rd quadrant starts with the cadent 9th house, which is falling down. Cadent means falling, and then the 8th and the 7th. But look, south of east is rising, so north of west is setting. I gotta come all the way over here, and we're talking about like through Regulus, Oscilius, Australis, Mabsuda, and Wasat. It's like down here, the descendant right now, there, okay? It's always going to be opposite. And how do I show you this? Well, I can't, but I'm going to stand in front of the camera now. Hi. Hi. And then I'm going to, sorry if that was a light blast, I'm going to loosen this thing up and I'm going to turn it exactly opposite where it's facing right now. No, that's the thing to make the camera fall onto the bricks. Don't do that one. This one. Okay, so the ascendant's going to be about here right now. And that makes sense because I see, you know, realize what I did, right, is I found where I was projecting the descendant to be behind that fence on the northwestern horizon. Northwest is setting right now. It probably is the solstice degree rising and setting right now, actually. I'll find out. But here's the Scorpion. Scorpion's heart, and the Scorpion's tail is like this, which points to the galactic center. All right, so the ascendant right now, you can see Zubin al-Janubi in the very upper right of your screen, which I'm pointing the laser to. Coming down here, the ecliptic, right below. I think this one's a crab. And then like that. Okay, so we're basically pointing in the direction of the ascendant, which I will never see because of trees and houses, and even if I walk some ways out past that fence and house, there's a pretty tall hill in the east here. It's pretty rare to have clear horizons, right? So I find what is rising by seeking the nonagesimal. We are often taught in astrology that the midheaven, which is now, since I've been talking so long, some degrees past Spica. You see how Spica, since we've started, has been moving towards the west. Everything has. It's going to be harder to notice with Corvus the crow here. But we had Spica right on the tree, right? And now it's not, because the sky is spinning from the east to the west. That which is on the left of the meridian is the eastern rising sky, and that which is on the right is the western descending sky. Okay, so now Spica is in the 9th house side of the meridian, which is like this. All right, we see this star up here, which is Hezi, I believe, currently culminating. All right, but for me it's easier, I don't know that you could see me do this, but to measure the sky on the ecliptic plane, and I'm just stretching out an arm and looking at about a finger and a half at arm's length, a finger and a half's width at arm's length between Spica and the tree. So it's right now like 25.5 degrees Libra at the midheaven. The time is currently 3:51 a.m. on February 18th, 2023, as far as the clock Gregorian trip goes. Okay, now I'm going to seek what is highest in the sky. You can see on the right Regulus, 1 degree tropical Virgo, Porma, 10 Libra, and Spica, 24 Libra. Do you see how much higher Porma is than Spica? They're both quite close to the ecliptic, which is doing this, and then also running kind of through Zanaya and Zavijava here. Like this, and then down to Regulus. See how I have to go down to Regulus? Let me get the camera right in between those. You'll see things kind of change as I move my head around. I'm not going to see this if I keep the camera due south. Now, I can't obviously even see the stars in the frame, so the point I was going to make is moot. It's hard when I have such a limited view. I could get a wide angle out here, but I can't afford one that gets this much light. And the wide angles distort more also. This thing's kind of wide. I think it's a 27 millimeter. Can't quite remember. Anyway, I'm looking at from Regulus right here, Zavijava, Zania. You see how this is like the peak? Okay, well this is like 5 degrees tropical Libra. This is like, we're like 3 degrees tropical Libra at the highest part of the ecliptic in this moment. Okay, look, this stuff has been coming down since it was on the tree. It got on the tree much higher than Spica does. Why? Because it's in the sign of Virgo. Virgo is a northern sign. It's northern hemisphere summer. High, right? It's the last month of summer, so it's coming back down. But Spica is in Libra. Libra is a fall sign in the northern hemisphere. It's falling, it's south, it's lower. Okay, so it's culminating at a lower height. Even these stars in earlier Libra were higher over here. Okay, so the midheaven is currently like 27 Libra. Maybe 26. I don't know, 27 plus. I'm going to cast a chart right now. I think the midheaven is about 27 Libra, and the ascendant's like 3 Capricorn. Let's find out. It's now 3:54, going on 3:55 a.m., February 18th, 2023, Richmond, California. Midheaven 26.5 Libra, and the ascendant 4.5 Capricorn. What's up? That's the thing. You learn your ecliptic stars. You learn how to see the meridian. I'm very lucky to have this tree, but you know what? I also have that tree if I'm standing over here. Alright, but it's no longer a midheaven tree for me. Yeah, you see Spike on that side. That's not happening. So it's only a midheaven tree. If I stand between that tree and Polaris, which you can't, well, yes you can. Here's Polaris here, right? So the trick is to position myself between Polaris and that tree, or just to use tools like drawing a line between me and Polaris. It's very easy at the daytime to work with the sun at the MC, because then the shadow of you or a pole or something will be pointing on the meridian, because everything, including the sun, culminates on the meridian. Okay? So hopefully you saw what I did. I found the meridian, and this tree, because I'm standing between Polaris and it, is the meridian. It's the north-south line. It's separating the eastern up from the western down. Therefore, it is the cusp of a quadrant house system 10th, okay? But it is so inaccurately taught by astrologers who typically just haven't learned this right. It's not a complex ignorance. They're not choosing to forget something that they have learned. It's a simple ignorance. They just haven't learned it. We are so often taught that the midheaven is directly above our heads. Well, let me show you where directly above our heads is. Okay? Here. I don't think I could even get there with this camera. Like, that is a long way, the zenith, from way down here. Now, when Cancer culminates, which is 0, Cancer is the most northern degree of the zodiac. It's the Tropic of Cancer, which is closest to us here in California. Cancer culminates way up here, okay? And it's a lot harder to work the tree, right? When the Scorpion culminates later, it's going to climb to a much lower height, like in the tree. And that gets more difficult, so I might work with stars that are above it. But Spica is a really bright, beautiful, powerful, magical Bohemian star, as is Regulus. And they're so close to the ecliptic plane that this is a great part of the sky to work and to show how I do this work. Okay, so after we find the midheaven, which is frankly the easiest thing to do because it's on a cardinal direction, and in our day and age, Northern Hemisphere observers have a cardinal star, Polaris, pole star, North Star. The next step is to find the height of the ecliptic curve. That's a trickier science, right? Especially when there's not bright stars around. But even here, in massively light polluted Bay Area skies, okay, I'm not right in the city, I'm a little ways out, so things come alive a little bit more. And this lens, oh, it's right now, it's pretty equivalent to what I'm seeing with my naked eye. Even here in the city, I can see enough stars to do this work. Clouds allowing, okay? Curve is a hard thing to do, but what I just got within a minute and a half of the ascendant degree. All right, and sorry, a degree and a half of the ascendant in Capricorn, right? Got in the right sign, in the right decan, the right 10-degree division. We use the modern use of that term. We got the midheaven degree within half a degree. I thought it was going to be like 27 and a half, actually. It was 26 and a half. So I was going the wrong way, but I said 27, right? So we were close. And then I think I said 3 Capricorn rising, and it was 5.5, something like that. I don't know. Review the tape. Pretty good. I'm happy with that. I like to get the midheaven within 1 to 3 degrees, preferably 1, as I did, and to get the ascendant within 1 to 5 degrees. And we were within 1.5 degrees. I mean, you know, 1 to 5 degrees can get the wrong sign. So that's a pretty tricky thing, especially if your astrological practice, like mine, is so keyed to the ascendant, at least when we have